All right, so if you're just starting your note cards today, they are due by the end of the block, so it's not difficult. So when you start here at the homepage for Schoology, you're going to go to our course, and then you're going to go to Note Cards Template, Lord of the Flies. All right, so you can download this file. That's probably the easiest way to do it. If you open it in Google Docs, what you want to do when you open this, you want to go up to File. Obviously, this is in Word, but in Google Docs, it'll be the same. Go up to File and then click Save as Google Doc, and then you want to retitle it so it saves into your Google Docs. But here is your template. So you're going to start typing in here. So this would be the same as if you were doing handwritten note cards on index cards, which I don't like to do. This here's a typo. That should be 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to find support for your essay. All right, so if you start at the bottom here, it tells you everything you need. You also received a handout that tells you this. You need 4 quotes from the novel. You probably found these already in your packet. All right, so go to your packet first. You might have those. And then you maybe will have to find additional ones if the quotes in your packet aren't good. But most of these should be found already. So what you're going to do, the ones from the book, you're going to type down here. All right, so novel quote 1, novel quote 2, novel quote 3, novel quote 4. All right, I've provided all of your parenthetical citation information already. So when you find it, essentially what you're just going to do is you're just going to replace this with Golding, this with the page number, whatever that is, and then you're going to type your quote in here inside these quotation marks. All right, so all of that is done for you. When you are finding your quotes from the novel, they should line up with these parts of your phrase outline. All right, so if you're talking about here how Roger throws stones, you want to find a quote from that part of the novel to prove that this actually happens. All right, same thing here for B, same thing for C. So you'll put 1 quote in each of these paragraphs ultimately when we write it, but you have to find 4 quotes. So you have to find 1 bonus quote that you can probably throw in here anyway, or instead if one of your quotes, isn't strong enough. The secondary sources are where people typically have more trouble. All right, so notice you have secondary source 1 here, secondary source 2 here, and then secondary source 3 down here, right? So you need 3 different sources from the back of the book. All right, they start after the last chapter of Lord of the Flies. There are 14 different essays, so you'll have to kind of page through some of them. This one here I've done as a sample, so if these happen to work for you, you're welcome to steal them. This one, however, is about Simon, which is only going to apply if you're doing Simon. This one is a little more general, so if this works for you, that's great, but you'll have to replace this one with a new quote from this same source. Notice here, instead of Golding, we have the author of the essay, so that's going to be on the first page. So you want to make sure that you don't have Golding here, unless you're doing the one that's written by Golding's son, but that's not a great source, so you should probably avoid it anyway. And then make sure the page number reflects the page where you found it. All right, these sources from the essays are going to support your theme. So these are going to be things like, if you look down here, all right, so civilization, savagery, rules, order, morals, fear, etc. So they might not be directly about your character. They can be, but you have to do a little bit of work here to make sure you tie this quote in with the book itself. All right, so some of them are interviews with William Golding, so he talks about what motivated him to write the book. He talks a lot about how without order, society will break down and people will turn to their natural evils. So you have to kind of read through some of these and try to find stuff that's going to work for your essay. All right, so ultimately you need 10. The bottom 4 are from the book, and then you need to find 1 essay, another essay, and another essay. All right, what you're putting here, you're essentially just summarizing briefly what the quote is. So you do your quote here, and then you just type whatever your quote's about. All right, so down here I have some examples. So Jack's savagery, Ralph's desire for rules, collapse of civilization, Simon's innocence, so whatever that is. So ultimately, you're going to have 10 of them when you're done. You will be using 6 of these total in your essay, so you need 1 primary quote per paragraph and 1 secondary quote per paragraph. That's body paragraph. In your own conclusion, you don't need quotes, but we'll talk about how you can incorporate them when I'm back on Monday. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me questions on Schoology. I will be here in the afternoon, so you can stop by in Eagle Block if you'd like, but this needs to be submitted by the end of the day.